Let's move on to some college basketball, though, because there are some interesting games in that. We're going to stick in the ACC, though. The Georgia Tech Louisville game, Brett, I looked at this one a lot. It's a 2 p.m. start time on the East Coast. Very interesting when you have a top 25 matchup with an early start like that. And I just couldn't find myself on either side with it. I just couldn't.
Yeah, I'd lean Louisville. I always like leaning Louisville and backing Chris Mack. I think he's a good coach. His teams are usually ready to play. Um, but I had no real edge here. Like, there's no like, oh, I think Louisville does this great against Georgia Tech, who doesn't do this well, or anything like that. So I just didn't really see a reason to bet this one, Higgins. And I'll go to the night game in the ACC between Duke and Miami.
Yeah, just one more point about the Georgia Tech Louisville game that made me kind of stay off it. You look at their recent games, Georgia Tech most recently beat Florida State. That's who Louisville played 3 opponents ago and lost to. Louisville most recently lost to Clemson. That's someone that Georgia Tech very recently also beat. But you look at Georgia Tech's most recent losses were to Duke and Virginia. Louisville very recently beat Duke, but Louisville has not played Virginia yet. So just too much discrepancies in the data that I'm looking at with this in terms of making it kind of a toss-up for me that I had to stay away from that game. But Brett, you are right. Duke, Miami. I really like this game, and you and I, we're going to find ourselves on opposite sides of this one.
Yeah, I like Duke a lot in this matchup. They look like they're going to be the Duke that we all expected kind of preseason. It took them a while to find themselves, Higgins, but over their last two games, they've started to emerge. And Miami's dealing with some turmoil. So I like Duke minus 9.5, even in the road spot with the extra juice here. I just think Duke's turning it on, and Miami had a player leave the program over the weekend. Their lineup's taking some hits. Yeah, I just don't love where Miami's at currently.
I get that. I mean, I get that. It's not necessarily the favorite pick to go with Miami plus 9.5 here, like I'm doing. I'm fading you. I'm going the opposite way on this one. Miami, they haven't covered their last 4 games. Duke, in their most recent 2 wins, they did cover both of those. But I will tell you, those are two of Duke's only 3 covers on the season. They're 3-9 against the spread so far this season, whereas you look at Miami and they're a little bit better at 7-9. 9.5 is just a very big spread, and just looking at the preview of this game, there's a very blatant number that Duke needs to hit to get a victory. It seems they're 7-0 when they score at least 75 points in a game. They're 0-5 when they score less than 73 points a game. So look at the stats. Miami averages 69 points against. Duke's averaging just under 75 points per game. So that 75 margin, that 75 mark, that is, I think, going to determine whether Duke wins this game or not. And I think 9.5 is just too big of a spread for a team that's 3-9 against the spread. So even with Miami's drama, you're going to find me with the Hurricanes.
You know what bothers me, Higgins, is that 75, and this is very Syracuse, so I'm sorry, I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but it's taco time. 75's taco time. It's not Duke winning time. It's taco time at the Dome. Like, they can't take that from us, Higgins.
That's very true. That's very true.
How dare they take 75 from us?
Yes, for those that are unaware, if Syracuse scored 75 or more points in a game, that meant free tacos for anyone that had a ticket to that night's game. So it was very serious, very serious.
Very, very serious business.
Especially for some broke college kids that would like a free meal. Always nice to get a free taco, absolutely. But Brett, it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. You and I on opposite sides like we are. 3-9 against the spread, though. That number just jumps off the page to me more than anything.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's a big number, but you mentioned what I mentioned. Duke has turned it on over their last 2 or 3 games. I say 3 games because I thought they played extremely well in that loss to Louisville. But I think this is the Duke team we all expected, and again, not to take anything away from what Miami's been able to do this year. They've won in some tough situations, but I like where this Duke team's at. I don't love where this Miami team's at, and that's my play here.